I hope you're ready, Naldo, because we're about to get all 50 shades of Grayskull up in this biatch.
Okay. I
Let's get
wasn't
the show
expecting
rolling.
that one.
Welcome, everybody, to another FYC film review episode. I'm your host, Gagne. With me, my partner, Naldo. How are you, buddy?
What's up, man? How's it going? How's it going, everybody? This is the first movie of the year.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
First movie of the year. We've been off for the holiday, the long holiday.
It's been about a month, I think.
Yeah,
3 weeks, four
too long.
weeks. Yeah. And we decided to go with the amazing 1987 Masters of the Universe. I have no words, man.
Yeah, I feel like we've mentioned this one before. I think I had fond memories of it as a kid. We just kind of said, why not? Let's roll with it. The animated series is on Netflix right now. It's
Yeah.
coming back for a second season. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I liked the cartoon as a kid, and this one, oof, it's
Right.
rough.
Right. I mean, I love the cartoon as a kid. I actually saw this in the theater, by the way, in
Ooh,
1987. I
wow.
don't remember much of it, but I remember seeing it in the theater. And I didn't really care for it back then, and I really don't care for it now as a 40-year-old something dude.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's a movie for anybody, not even like a He-Man fan. And yeah, I'll throw a couple things I liked. Okay, like Skeletor,
Oh,
they best effort they could make. They got a good actor to do it. He committed to the character. Frank Langella is a great actor. They did the best they could with the makeup. Is it perfect? No. Did it have the
no.
comedic, timing that I think the cartoon did with Skeletor? No. But I dug Skeletor. Had a crush
Okay.
on Tila when I was a kid. Shout out to Tila, hiding behind the chair.
Yeah, but this
And
Tila sucked.
yeah, not the same. Obviously, like they made her more of like a war hero kind of. I don't know, like a just a soldier. It was it's a very different take. But also give a little props to the costume design. The best they could possibly come up with when you got to have a Dolph Lundgren running around shirtless. He at least looked the part like He-Man. Man at Arms also kind of looked the part. Skeletor,
Okay.
close. That's all I could
Okay.
say for what I liked. What about you?
The only thing I liked about this, and I thought about this long and hard, was that was the set pieces, was the big tank when Skeletor was riding down the middle of this suburban street
Yeah.
downtown. There's no people, but he's riding down on it, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Other than that, I don't have much that I liked about this movie.
Yeah, let's get into the dislikes. You mentioned the set pieces and they were grand. But I had an issue with the fact that they needed to put this like in Earth on Earth. Like
Yeah.
He-Man is just it doesn't live anywhere. There were no humans in He-Man ever. And
Nope.
so trying to introduce this silly cosmic key as a way to connect like humans with the He-Man universe, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like you can
You know
cast Courtney
why?
Cox
You know
all you
why?
want. Why?
I'll tell you why they ran out of this.
Oh, so they had to go to Earth and shoot
Right?
basically He-Man in a alleyway fighting people. Like also, when did He-Man fire lasers? Like it just
Thank you.
when
When since
guns?
yeah, he's got a gun and a sword, and he uses his gun more than his sword.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on now.
it was trying too hard to be like Star Wars instead of just being He-Man. Like,
Okay.
let He-Man be the weird thing it was.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I saw the guys behind me that want to be stormtroopers, and I'm
Yeah,
like, this is just a ripoff of Star Wars. And there was no introduction. You see He-Man and these guys, and that's it, and you're in it. There's no introduction. You don't see his alter ego, or He-Man is his alter ego. Adam, right? Adam
yeah,
is his
yeah.
real
Prince
name.
Adam.
Right? Orko, remember Orko, the little late alien guy?
Yeah,
So instead we get some wannabe
Will
leprechaun.
Door. Oof,
Come on.
so
I
rough.
mean, is it because they ran out of money and they couldn't make the thing fly?
That was actually 100% what it was. They had to
Okay.
come up with a different character for Orko because there was no way they were going to be able to make that work. I mean, you saw He-Man flying on that disc, right? Like the special
Yeah.
effects. This movie was made for like just over $20 million, and while it sounds like a lot, it's not for a movie when you need to have CGI and characters done in some proper makeup. So they
Yeah.
just they added a lot to this that wasn't necessary. A bunch of side characters, bad guys that weren't any part of the cartoon. And so
No.
you lose like what ultimately I think was bringing kids and people who like He-Man to
Yep.
this movie, and it just falls apart. It falls apart in so many ways. Like you're missing the biggest thing that you mentioned, Prince Adam turning into
Yeah.
He-Man. Like that
Yeah.
was everything in the cartoon. When that happened,
Hmm.
you're like, it's go time, and it
Yeah.
doesn't happen here.
And
Oh
Cringer,
yeah,
his
Cringer the cat.
cat,
Yeah,
the really scaredy cat, and he turns into this ferocious lion or tiger or whatever.
yeah.
You miss
Battle
all
cat.
that. Battle cat,
Yeah.
yeah. Dolph Lundgren, listen, Ivan Drago. He looks like He-Man, no doubt about it.
Sure.
But this guy was awful in this, and I'm just he every time the camera's on him, he was always looking around like something was out to get him. He was just awful. I don't even know where to begin at this. And then Courtney Cox, we got a really young Courtney Cox in this movie, which I don't know, man. It just wasn't needed.
You're right. That Courtney Cox, her parents are dying or died because she didn't stop them from getting on a plane, but then she stops them. Is this Back to the Future? Like you're just, it becomes a mess, and you're like, wow, this movie is like close to 2 hours long too, right? Like it feels really long. You're
Hour and
like,
45 minutes.
yeah, it felt a lot longer. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
all I got,
I
man.
don't right.
Let's rate it. I think we're
Okay.
gonna go with abs. Dolph Lundgren has them.
I like it.
know.
One ab, really bad. One ab, 5 abs is I mean, amazing. I wish I had 5 abs.
Yeah.
I feel like I got 2, and they're somewhere hidden underneath all this.
All right, are you gonna rate this first?
I'll go first. All right.
All
I'm gonna go with uh you know, I I'm gonna go with 1.5 abs on this. 1.5 abs because there's something nostalgic to it, but it's not enough to make me really want it. It's awful. 1.5. I can't recommend it. It's one of those movies that I wish never existed ever.
Yeah, we are in tune, sir. I also gave it 1.5 abs. It's a struggle. It's a struggle to get through. I was hoping for that nostalgia feel a little bit more, and I remember so much of it, and then realized that I just didn't understand it as a kid, and I was happy to see He-Man on a big screen, and it's not rewatchable. So
I agree. Well, there you go. First movie of the year for FYC sucks.
there it is. We would urge you to not consider watching this one if you haven't already, because you're not missing anything. But we do appreciate you watching us and checking out FYC Film Review. Tell us if you've seen Masters of the Universe. Tell us if you love it. I do know it's kind of a cult, classic now. One of those cheesy 80 things like Highlander. We didn't get that, but it's of that ilk. So let us know what you think, guys. I've been your host Gagne, with me my partner Naldo, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good one, everybody.